Emphasis and importance. Today, guys, I'm working with a new microphone with my regular headset. The other microphone that I was using was a lapel microphone from like Walmart. Just kind of curious, give me some feedback. If this headset microphone is a little bit better for you. Personally, I kind of like it a little bit better myself, but I'll mix them up. Alright, so continuing where we left off in our last video, emphasis and importance of the HTML documentation. In human language, we often emphasize certain words to alter the meaning of a sentence. We often want to mark certain words as important or different in some way. HTML provides various semantic elements to allow us to mark up textual content with such effects. And in this section, we'll look at a few of the most certain ones. Emphasis. When we want to add emphasis to a spoken language, we stress certain words, subtly altering the meaning of what we're saying. Similarly, in a written language, we tend to stress words by putting them in italics. For example, the following two sentences have different meanings. I'm glad you weren't late. I'm glad you weren't late. The first sentence generally believe that the person wasn't late. In contrast, the second one sounds sarcastic or passive-aggressive, expressing annoyance that the person arrived a bit late. In HTML, we use the EM for emphasis element to mark up such instances, as well as making the document more interesting to read. These are recognized by screen readers and spoken out in a different tone of voice. Browsers style this as italic by default, but you shouldn't use this tag purely to get italic styling. To do that, you'd use span element and some CSS, or perhaps the I element as seen below. Strong importance. To emphasize important words, we tend to stress them in spoken language and bold them in written language. For example, this liquid is highly toxic. I'm counting on you. Do not be late. In HTML, we use the strong importance element to mark up instances, as well as making the document more useful. Again, these are recognized by screen readers and spoken in a different tone of voice. Browsers style this as bold text by default, but you shouldn't use this tag purely to get bold styling. To do that, you'd use a span element and some CSS, or perhaps the B element for bold, as shown down here. You can nest strong and emphasis inside one another if desired. I'm going to skip the active learning this time. Italic, bold, underline. The elements we've discussed so far have clear-cut associated semantics. The situation with bold, italic, and U for underline is somewhat more complicated. This came about so people could write bold, italics, and underline in an era when CSS was still supported poorly, if not at all. Elements like this, which only affect presentation and not semantics, are known as presentation elements and should no longer be used because, as we've seen before, semantics is so important to accessibility, SEO, search engine optimization, etc. HTML redefined the bold italic and the new with new, somewhat confusing semantic roles. Here's the best rule of thumb. It's likely appropriate to use bold, italic, and underline to convey a meaning traditionally conveyed with bold, italics, and underline, provided that there is no more suitable element. However, it always remains critical to keep an accessibility mindset. The concept of italics isn't very helpful to people using screen readers, or to the people using a writing system other than the Latin alphabet. I use convey a meaning traditionally conveyed by italic foreign words, taxonomy, designation, technical terms, a thought. Bold is used to convey a meaning traditionally conveyed by bold. Uh, Keywords, product names, lead sentences. Underline is used traditionally conveyed by underline. Proper name, misspelling. Kind warning about underline. People strongly associate underlining with hyperlinks. Therefore, on the web, it's best to underline only links, using the U element when it's semantically appropriate. Consider using CSS to change the default underline to something more appropriate on the web. Example below illustrates how this can be done. Text to skills. You've reached the end of this article, but you can remember the most important information. You can find some further tests to verify that you've retained the information before you move on. That's it for now. This article has given you a good idea how to start marking up text in HTML, just due to some of the most important elements in this area. There are a lot of semantic elements to cover in this area. We'll look at more in our More Semantic Elements article later on in the course. In this article, I'll be looking in detail at how to create libraries. Possibly the most important